You didn't fail because you're weak. You failed because you actually tried. And somewhere in your head right now, you're turning that into a reason to stop. You think maybe it's not for you. Like you had a plan. Maybe a big one, maybe a small one. Doesn't matter. You were going to do the thing. Start the business, get your life together, whatever your thing was. And then it didn't go the way you thought. Maybe it flopped. Maybe you got halfway there and then just stopped. Looked around, felt like a clown. And now you're replaying it over and over. The thing is, you're not even upset about the failure anymore. You're upset about yourself. Because you've decided that the failure means something about who you are, about what you're capable of, about whether you should even bother again. You're treating it like it is a justifiable reason for you to quit. And you want to know the crazy part? Failure is just feedback. It doesn't define who you are. Carl Jung once said, "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." Like, that's not a comforting thing I'm saying to make you feel better. That's literally how it works. Every time something doesn't go the way you planned, your brain quietly files away what not to do, what to watch for, where the cracks are. And you don't even notice it happening because you're too busy being embarrassed. You're standing in the middle of the most useful information you've ever collected about yourself, and you're calling it a disaster. Think about every person you actually respect, the ones who seem solid, who seem like they've got it figured out. You know what they have in common? First, stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What did this show me? What the fuck am I going to do moving on from here?" Those are completely different questions. One keeps you stuck in victimhood, the other turns the whole thing into data. Second, give yourself a timeline to feel bad, and then end it. Not because your feelings aren't valid. They are. But grief over a failure that you're still replaying 6 months later isn't grief anymore. It's a habit, and habits can be broken. So stop fantasizing about that shit. Third, understand that the version of you who failed was doing the best they could with what they had at the time. That version deserves some grace. Not because they were perfect, but because they showed up. You can't hate yourself into becoming someone better. It has never worked. Not once, not for anyone. And do you want to know what actually works? Getting back in it. Quieter, smarter, a little bit more honest with yourself about where things went sideways. Just start again. Today. Small. The comeback doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to happen. It needs to be for you. Look, you're going to fail again. It's inevitable because you're going to keep trying things. And trying things means sometimes they don't work. But every single time you get back up, you become someone slightly harder to keep down. And one day, I promise you this, you're going to look back at the exact thing that broke you, and you're going to realize it was also the thing that built you. The failure wasn't the end of your story. It was just the part where it got interesting. Don't skip it.